Throughout history, there have been countless stories of people striking it rich in unexpected and unconventional ways, from stumbling onto hidden treasures to discovering valuable artifacts in the most unlikely places. Some individuals have been fortunate enough to make life-changing discoveries that have turned their lives around. In this video, we'll be exploring some of the luckiest and most unbelievable discoveries made by people that led to unimaginable wealth. Get ready to be amazed and inspired by these incredible stories of luck and fortune. Number 1. A rare photo of Abraham Lincoln and his cabinet. Pictures can last decades if they're stored properly. Many people have found old magazines, pictures, declarations, and other important papers over the years stored in album boxes or even safes. And something out of the ordinary was found in an old photo album by a woman cleaning her grandmother's basement. She found a rare picture of Abraham Lincoln and his cabinet, and on top of that, it was signed by the president, making it even more valuable. Since it was his signature and kept in such pristine condition, she got $100,000 out of it. Number 2. Black opal stone worth $3 million. Finding diamonds or gold in nature is very rare. There are some cases of lucky finds that have made people really rich. Specifically, a man in Australia who found a big sparkling gemstone at the bottom of his bucket while looking for stones. He didn't know that he stumbled upon something valuable, so he kept it in his house for 14 years as an ornament. After he showed it to a specialist, he found out it was a rare black opal, estimated to be worth $3 million or more. He named it the Royal One. Number 3. Gold coins buried in metal cans. Whatever you find in your backyard is yours, right? Ownership was the main problem for a couple who found 8 cans full of gold coins in their backyard. The entire hoard was estimated to be around $10 million, so it's no wonder they wanted a piece of it. Luckily for them, the finder's keeper strategy was in their favor because they found it on their property. The coins seemed to be from the 1800s, and it took them some time to get through all the bureaucracy and red tape before getting to keep them. Number 4. A Russian doll commissioned by Nicholas II. You never know what your grandparents' collector find over the years and then forget about it in the attic. Toys are usually not very valuable, but when they look a little different than what you're used to, it's worth getting them checked. A couple was lucky enough to find in their attic a Russian doll made by the famous jewelry brand Fabergé for Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. Since it had so much historic value, the doll, a little Russian soldier, was later auctioned and sold for $5.2 million. Number 5. Rare comic books. If you were a kid in the early days of the comic book era, you could make millions of dollars selling your old stash, since not many copies of rare comic books are still in existence. When a man showed up with a pile of comic books, including some from the 1930s, featuring Batman's first ever appearance and some others just as rare and valuable, he became a millionaire. He sold over 300 comic books for $3.5 million. Not bad for cashing in on a hobby. Number 6. Rolex watches. A street cleaner was lucky enough to find a Rolex watch during his work hours, but he felt wrong to keep it, so he turned it over to the police. When he went back with TV and press for the news report, he found 3 more watches in the same place. Since TV and the police were there, he handed those watches over as well. But if no one claims them, after 30 days, he gets to keep all 4 watches, which he found are worth over $1,000 in total. They might have been stashed there after a robbery, but really, no one knows for sure. Number 7. The Gurlitz Collection. If your father was an art dealer who worked with the Nazis and the Jews, you could imagine what kind of artworks are hiding in his loft. 1,500 paintings worth $1.3 billion were found inside a Munich apartment building belonging to Hildebrand Gurlitt. Among the many big names found in the apartment, we can mention Pablo Picasso and Matisse, who were disconsidered by the Nazis. After his son Cornelius died, police and the Museum of Fine Arts in Bern, Switzerland, tried to return any wrongfully acquired works to the original owners or their families. Number 8. A rare Viking hoard. Following the traces of Vikings can lead one to amazing finds. A man uncovered the richest Viking hoard in the UK with a metal detector. The Horde dates from the 10th century and included silver bracelets and brooches, a gold ring, an enameled Christian cross, and a bird-shaped gold pin. It doesn't seem like too much, but for his discovery, he was awarded $2.5 million as a thank you from the National Museum of Scotland. It's one of the biggest and most important Viking finds, and in this case, both parties benefited greatly from it. Number 9. A violin from the Titanic. When the famous ship the Titanic sunk, everything apart from a few hundred people vanished. All the lavish furniture, expensive ornaments, and even the musical instruments disappeared forever. But not necessarily. One of the musicians was found with a leather case strapped to him by the rescue team. They found out that the violin was gifted to the musician by his then girlfriend. After his passing, the violin was returned to her. As the years went by, the violin ended up in the attic, and when someone found and authenticated it, the violin sold for $1.18 million. The last owner of the violin was the luckiest of them all. Number 10. Ansel Adams' Yosemite Park negatives. Famous photographer Ansel Adams was a renowned landscape photographer and environmentalist, known for his black and white images of the American West. He helped found the group F46 and has taken some of the most famous pictures of American wilderness and natural parks. His glass negatives of Yosemite National Park were bought by a man for only $45 at a garage sale, only to find out later they were worth $200 million. The photographs were taken between 1919 and 1930, making them very valuable. From discovering rare collectibles to stumbling upon hidden treasures, the stories of lucky discoveries that made people rich never cease to amaze us. These fortunate individuals serve as a reminder that luck can strike at any moment and in the most unexpected ways. While some may dismiss these stories as mere flukes, they serve as a testament to the power of chance and the possibilities that can come from being in the right place at the right time. So keep your eyes open, and you never know, you could be the next person to make a lucky discovery that changes your life forever. And until then, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on the next Mind Marvel.